Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome to our 2016 Hide His Word in My Heart art journaling. I'm excited to show you some differences this year. If you were with us last year, you'll know that we did art journaling where we took one scripture and we art journaled that scripture and we put it to our memory so we could learn 52 scriptures for the year. This year we're going to do things a little bit different. So this year we're going to focus on the word heart. The H in the word heart is going to stand for hearing the word. The E in the word heart is going to stand for experiencing the word. And then art in the word heart is going to focus on the beauty of the word. And we're going to use those elements in our journal this year, a little different than last year. Let me show you how. On this page, you'll see that I've already done my first week's journaling. There is a video for this that we'll post on our Hide His Word in Our Heart group today, so you'll be able to see that. But here's how this works. First, I broke down hearing. I go to the left-hand side of my journal, and I took hearing and put it in this section. So at the top, I wrote hearing. I put our scripture in for the day, wrote out the scripture, and then I underlined words that meant a lot to me in that scripture so I could focus on those for the week. Underneath that section is my experience section. I took those words, I wrote them down here, and then I focused on what I wanted to experience in that scripture using those words for the week. Now, I will spend a week on the scripture. This will be the one I focus on, the one I look at for the whole week. And I don't have a problem with that. I think sometimes you need to focus on scripture stronger than just reading it, thinking about it, and moving on. This is something I'll be able to pray about. I'll be able to see how I'm doing. I can even come back in and add notes or plans, or I can take post-it notes and stick on here if there's things that I want to focus on, more strongly in the scripture. The other thing I want to point out is sometimes we won't have one scripture. Sometimes we may have a passage of scripture that we look at. Today, this scripture just really worked for me for the beginning of the year and the beginning of this new project. Now, on the right-hand side of the page is where I'll be doing my art. So you can see here that I did a mountain scene and I focused on steadfast and movable and always. Those are the ones I really wanted to focus on there. So my art will go to this side. Now, next week, I'll flip the page and this side will be my hearing and my experience, and my art will remain on the right hand side. So that's how my journal will be laid out this year. Now you have fun with your journal. Do it how you want to. And if you like the idea of focusing on the heart of scripture the way we're going to do it this year, I hope that this will speak to you and be something you want to follow us along and do with us. Now there'll be some questions I want to answer real quick. One is the journal I'll be using this year is a spiral bound watercolor paper filled journal. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. This journal is about 6 inches wide, about 9.5 inches tall. And for me, I just think because of doing the 2-page layout this year, it's going to be a lot easier for me to control than trying to use that big journal I used last year. So I'm excited about this. We will do one of these every week. I will post each Friday my video. I will show you how I have art journaled. I'll talk to you about hearing and experiencing the scriptures that we're doing, and I'll post those scriptures on our Facebook group. So if you guys want to follow along, you can do this with us. This is an awesome way to get into the Word this year. We're going to be looking at different topics. I don't have a set structure for scripture this year. I'm going to be praying about that. I'm going to be asking God to give me the scripture each week, and so whatever He gives me is what we will focus on. And sometimes He may even encourage me to let you guys do it like He did last year. Sometimes last year I felt like God was saying, I'm speaking to them, and let's encourage them to journal what they want to put in their book. So sometimes we may do that, but just as a help to kind of get you started, I'm going to give you a scripture each week. All right, guys, I hope you are excited about this journey. We're excited about having you as part of our group. Now, if you're viewing this on my Facebook group right now, please go ahead and browse around the group, look at the albums from last year, check out the things we've done before, kind of familiarize yourself with the group. We have some admins that are here to help you. If you have any questions, be sure to just ask those questions and we will answer them right away. And thanks so much for being part of this journey with me, guys. I look forward to what 2016 has for us. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.